What's up, guys? Let's do some more SQL. This video we're going to learn more about subqueries, which are nested queries inside another query. And this query will run first and give our results to our outer query. So let's learn more about this in this problem. So here we have a question, the most recent orders for each product. Here we have our customers table, our orders table, and our products table. In our customers table, we have our customer ID, which is our primary key, and then a name for that customer. Then we have our order ID. In our orders table, we have our order ID, which is our primary key, and we have two foreign keys here. The first one, customer ID, is a foreign key that relates to our customers table, and then our product ID references our products table, and then each order has an order date that we're going to be looking at. And then in our products table, we have a product ID, product name, and price. So we need to write a solution to find the most recent order for each product. And orders, because there could be like orders made on the same date, right? So there could be more than one order for each product. And we need to order this by the product name in ascending order. If there's a tie, then product ID in ascending order. And if there's still a tie, an order ID in ascending order, right? So let's look at an example. Here we have our customers table, our orders table, our products table. And so let's talk about how we would do this question, right? One way we could do this is just by looking at our orders table. We could, for every single product ID that we see here, we could find the most recent order date per product ID, right? So obviously we would use an aggregation function like max for this. So we could say PID, and then we could get our latest order date, right, for that PID, product ID. And then so let's look at one. So one, we have 7/31, right? And then let's go down. We have 7/29, which is not greater. Then we have 8/1. So it looks like 8/1 is the greatest or the most latest order date for product ID 1. And let's look at product ID 2. Product ID 2, we have 7/30. Let's look at product ID 2, 6/10, which is not more recent. And then we have 8/3, which is more recent. So let's do 8,3. And then here we have 7/15, which is not more recent. And then let's look at product ID 3. Let's see, we have 8/29. And that's for this one. Let's look to see if there's anything more recent. So this is 8/7, which is not more recent. So here's our table that we just made with our product ID and the latest order date, right? And now something we could do is we could join this table that we just made, this subquery, with our orders table again, right? So then we could get our order ID, right? Or the orders that match this order date, right? So let's look at that. So say we call this our subquery example, and then we have our orders table. We could then join them based on the product ID and the latest order date, right? And we'd want to do a join since, we don't want to get any order IDs that are null. And since these are all coming from the orders table anyway, we should just simply join them. So let's just join it, inner join. And now our table should look something like this. So say we have our product ID, our order ID, and then our latest timestamp. So we have one. Our order ID is so since we're joining on product ID and the latest time, we need to look at which ones for product ID 1 have an 8-1 timestamp. So that'll give us 6 and 7. 6 and 7 right here. And the latest timestamp is 8-1. 8-1. Then let's look at product ID 2. So we have an order ID, or we have a timestamp of 8-3. Let's look at this. I think it's this row right here. So order ID 8, and then it's 8-3. And then let's look at product ID 3. And I think this is the latest one. So order ID 3, 8-29. So here we basically have 3/4 of the table, right, by joining with our orders table. And now we simply just need to take this table again and join it with our products table so we can get our name, right? So let's join it with our products table. We'll join it since we don't want to have any null product names, and it's almost guaranteed that every product ID in our subquery or in our example table will be in our products table. We can just do a typical inner join, right? And we'll join our products on the product ID, and here we'll get something like, let's say this is name, PID, this is keyboard, this is keyboard, 2 is a mouse, and 3 is a screen. So this is in the wrong order, obviously, but if we look at our output, it does seem to match up. So we have 1, 1, 6, and 8-1, so this is good. And then 1, 7, 8-1, 2, 8, 8-3, and then 3, 3, and 8-29. So hopefully that makes some sense. Let's get into coding. Okay, here's our editor. And let's start with our first subquery, right, where we're looking at our orders table. So let's do a select. Let's say orders dot product ID. And then we'll get the latest order date. Orders dot order date. From orders, and then we have to group it, group by. Let's take a look at this. Right, so this gives us our most recent date for each product ID. Let's call this latest order date, right? And let's do our 2 joins now. So we can say we will call this A. So let's say from so we can call this A dot, what's our output look like? We'll say A dot product ID, and then A dot order date. All right, we'll call this, it's actually a latest date since we renamed it. And then we'll do products dot product name. And then we also need our order ID, so orders dot order ID. Right, and then we want to join this on our orders table. Orders on, let's say A dot product ID orders dot product ID and a dot latest order ID equals orders dot order date. And then we want to join it again on our products table so we can get the name. So we'll join it on a dot product ID equals products dot product ID. And then obviously we want to order it, and we need to order it by the product name. So products dot product name in ascending order. And then we want to order it by the product ID, a dot product ID in ascending order. And then if there's a tie, we want to order it by the order ID. Orders, order ID. So let's run this and see what we get. Oh, okay, I think we need to rename this to order date. There we go. Cool. So, as you can see, this worked, and hopefully you learned something. Thanks for watching.